Oh my gosh, what's this? We're actually doing another League recording? What insanity! And I'm doing Raws, that's even weirder. Hey guys, Sax226 here.
Hey there guys, I'm Sonic Ghost.
Hi everyone, I'm Commentator1337.
Hey there guys, I'm Geratino.
And welcome to, well, something that I had to do in post because, well, Skype and Camtasia don't like to cooperate with this game. It is Rayman 2 for the PC. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, I can feel your pain for trying to get this version recording. I've tried recording this version once before as well. It's not easy, even with something like Fraps that's designed for it.
And, well, that's the thing, because in terms of recording, I think the PC version is the most ideal if you want, you know, the full game and the soundtrack.
Yeah,
you know?
if you want the original experience, but at the same time you want to have higher quality graphics and such, use the PC version of the game. And you want to use the GOG version, which we'll be seeing why later in this playthrough.
Oh yes, I make it very clear why you want to do that.
Yeah, there are two different releases of the PC version. The original, which came out in, I believe it was 1998, and then there was the GOG version, which was a re-release.
Got the box so I can check for it. Oh, I got a re-release for XP that was released in 2001. So
Fascinating.
I could just double check here really quick, but essentially there was two different versions of this game released. There was the original on PC, and then there was the GOG version, which made it more compatible with newer computers. So the problem is, if you play the original version on this on like a Windows 7 or 8 machine, you're going to be running into some major bugs, which is making the game unplayable.
Yes. And well, I didn't really want to get to a point halfway through the game and then go, oh, now I need to jump to the N64, so I am very glad this playthrough survived.
Plus, if you're emulating the N64 version, good luck. That has a lot of graphical bugs too, which makes it a little harder to play.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to some people about fixing that stuff, but it is quite the booger thing when emulated.
Yeah, that's why I just wanted to track down a copy of the cartridge just to play it on there, but I would still play this version over that just for recording's sake, only because it's prettier.
And, you know, I've talked about Rayman 2 in a lot of recordings of, you know, Rayman 1 and just recordings in general, and this game, good grief. The first time I actually played this game, it was the PC version. I played it when I was meant to be going to inter-school sports in primary school, and I ended up being one of the spare players, so I stayed back at school while everyone else went to a different school to play that game. And I ended up staying in one of the grade 5-6 rooms and playing Rayman 2 during lunchtime. And I had no idea what was going on or what I was doing. And now I'm recording this, what insanity.
All the times have changed.
Oh, yeah, I know. Especially considering after I played it that one time I jumped into the PS1 version. How about that?
Well, hey, it's the only version that has the beta of the game.
True, actually.
Which I still need to beat the PS1 version just to unlock that. I'm like, I think, almost halfway through it.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing too much.
It is made a little easier with the changes to the level design and the number of bombs you need to collect. But, yeah, it honestly feels like a completely different experience playing the PS1 version. So,
Well, it's almost like a completely different game because how the levels are really changed.
and that is the only reason why I bought it on the DS when I got my DS. Wanted to play the game,
Which has another great port, quote unquote.
yeah, in its base form. So, yeah, now gameplay has started after about how long? Yeah, 4 minutes of cutscene?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So it's inside a giant flying pirate ship.
Yes, pretty much. That's where the game starts. And I've actually seen people glitch through that laser gate. I did it once. I can't remember how.
What's even behind that laser gate anyways?
Just a very long corridor that a cutscene would happen in later in the game, but not much. Once
That's
you
cool,
get
at least you
stuck
can
there,
access that area.
Yeah, it's just a nightmarish thing. Also,
Yeah,
by the way, I know there are load screens in here at the moment. I am going to be cutting them out. past this
Well,
part.
at this point, you're using the disc, right?
Yeah, I am using
Okay,
it.
there's why. Because I know when you're playing this, like with the GOG version, for example, load times are nothing because it's on the hard drive.
But still, it's a case of, I wanted to keep them into, keep the game footage
authentic.
as real as it actually is, and then after
Although
this part...
the one thing I miss from the N64 version of this game is whenever you come to a transition like that, it's just like this nice fade out effect.
Oh,
I miss
the swirly thing?
Yeah, that's a really nice little fade in and fade out.
I do like that.
It's a nice little touch. Oh,
What
hello,
is this
Murphy.
God, that grin.
That is an awesome smile.
Hi, Murphy. He's so happy.
He's
He
so
just
quiet
went
in
to
this
the
game, but then
dentist.
Rayman 3, oh boy, he gets loud.
Oh, yeah, he does.
It's just a weird parallels. In this game, he just whispers, but in Rayman 3, he really wants to make sure
shouts,
he's known.
yeah. I have to admit, a lot of the characters that are introduced in Rayman 2 and are in Rayman 3, I like a lot more in Rayman 2, honestly.
Well, they have more personality in 2. Like Murphy, for example, you only see for a few minutes in 3.
But at least, well, that's the thing, because they fleshed him out a lot more in 3, I think, by actually giving him solid dialogue and stuff.
That is true.
And showing that I can bring back Murphy and I need to speed through all of the dialogue.
Oh, hey Murphy. Now shut up.
Hi Murphy, bye Murphy.
Now, quick question: are you playing this with a controller or with the keyboard?
It's funny that you asked that, because at the moment, at this point in the footage, I am indeed playing it with a controller.
Oh, that's good. Because I was actually going to bring up one problem playing this game with the controller on the PC. The buttons that you use for pausing and for the hint system like that are not mapped to a button. Everything else is.
Oh no, you're right. No, sorry, I'm thinking of Munch's Odyssey. What? Yeah.
No. What I had to do is I had to use another program. I had to use Joy to Key to map those keyboard buttons to a controller.
Of course.
Because everything else is mapped except for those two functions for some weird reason. And it's surprising at least the pause one isn't. That's kind of an important feature.
So yeah, this is pretty much just the tutorial world, and it's pretty much just subscribing, camera controls, movement controls, and there's Mosquito.
Mosquito.
First boss from Rayman 1 is just everywhere, his species at least.
And you can't even hurt him in this game. He just flies around.
And here's the funny thing, this... the hint stone was wrong.
Yep. Late 90s games.
Anyways, by collecting LUMs, we actually get a whole bunch of knowledge about the lore of the world. So instead of, doing a whole thumping great big plot dump on us, they actually give us the lore steadily, depending on how many LUMs we collect.
Yeah, think of it like the logs in the Metroid Prime games. It's really up to you if you want the story.
I think it's every 250, your quote-unquote mental rank goes up as you become more wise in terms of the world's knowledge.
Once again, late 90s games.
Oh.
They're great graphics and everything.
A lot of graphical shortcuts. that
Also,
make them
you
awesome.
may be noticing at certain points while I'm walking around, Rayman is slowing down a little bit. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
I'm betting that's a controller issue.
Oh, you'll see.
Because I'm also familiar with this with my N64 controller, because everyone knows how great those sticks last over time. I have the same issue a lot of times with games like this.
You can especially see it when I'm doing this run jump over here.
Yeah. The dead zone on the stick seems to be going.
Logitech game controllers are really good, but with time they just get eaten away.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm just hoping that my PS3 controllers do that, because that's my main PC controller right now.
So yeah, we're looking for a fairy to help get us back our powers, and well, she's already been kidnapped by the pirates who we just escaped from.
Audible gas.
Game irony.
Isn't this
Going
like
the wrong
a
friggin'
plot
direction?
device used in the majority of games?
Maybe.
I feel like this is a reoccurring plot device.
Yeah. You escaped? Oh, sorry. The person who's going to help you get through everything got kidnapped just as you escaped.
And you
Now
may or
go
may not
save
be
them.
spending
Oh,
the
by the
rest of
way-
the game endlessly chasing said character.
Yeah.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the way, they're probably either right next to you in the next level, or they're like, oh, I don't know, endgame. Have fun. Luckily for us, it's the first one. The fairy's just in the next level, so we don't have to wait that long to see Lee.
Which is good, yeah. That does make things easier. And now, a momentous occasion of silliness.
Rayman punch!
Punkies! I knew Jared would get a kick out of that, definitely.
I love it.
Yeah, the teensies. These people don't know who the heck's the real king. This is gonna be a recurring theme throughout the entire game.
Yep.
Well,
And to a lesser extent in Rayman M as well. With the racing game. They do the exact same thing.
Yeah, these teensies just really don't know who's supposed to be the king.
Mm-hmm.
At least I had it figured out by 3, but even then, it still doesn't feel like he was the king. It feels like, oh, I just took the crown, I'm saying I'm king.
Pretty much.
well, if the crown is the source of the kingly power... Oh,
Just put it on that guy.
Easily surrendered, it must not be a source of power.
It's funny. I distinctly remember this cutscene either in the DS version or the PS2 version. The crown on the Teensy's head just will not stay still. It has a mind of its own.
Sounds more like
crown
the
is
DS
king.
version.
And you just hear it slipping and slopping all over his head during the cutscene, and you're just going,
Physics?
do you need a piece of elastic or something? Do you need a piece of elastic to keep it on?
Hey, we're just putting on you like a party hat.
Yeah.
Clearly, the crown is the king of the teensies. It's merely a fashion device which rules them all.
Use a bit of magic, it would probably be a 15C probably. Jeez.
And then that one wouldn't even know he's king or not.
It'd look exactly the same as the others and it would just start the whole cycle again.
Oh, in case you weren't able to tell, you need 5 lumps to get into there. If you didn't have 5 lumps, it'd just say, oh, hey, go get 5 lumps, and you just have to go back and get them.
It's funny
So
because...
the first level's the only one you need 100%.
What is it? I think in the PS1 version there's actual separate dialogues.
Yeah, there is.
We need 10 lumps to get you through this hole, but it seems you don't have enough. We need some more.
I remember that, because the first time I played, I missed 1 lump, and I remember seeing 2 things of dialogue.
It puts in a cutscene with a fade out as well.
True. Oh, and the fun thing here is actually, if you mash the jump button, you can actually skip Murphy's dialogue here.
Yes. Yes.
So if you just want to get through this, you're not caring about cutscenes, I just do that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So the Woods of Light is where we came from, and over here is the Fairy Glade. The next level we are heading to. You can actually, if you hold down the F1 button, I believe, you can actually get Murphy to come back and tell you all that dialogue again on the world map.
Yeah, because there's a hint stone right there.
Mm.
And he always comes around with hint stones.
And finally, Rayman can survive water.
Da-na-na-na. An
No,
achievement
it's
all
such a
video
hard
game
thing for him to do.
characters.
It only took him a couple of years.
Not even Master Chief can survive water.
Complete dimensional change as well. And that there is a super yellow lump, which basically has the value of 5 yellow lumps. And they just grin at you.
Yeah, they just have this big grin on their face all the time. It's kind of weird.
It's only slightly terrifying, I'm sure.
Only slightly, yeah.
Hmm.
But
Still not as bad as Murphy's grin there.
most of the lumps as they present themselves, especially throughout this level, are fairly self-explanatory. And while they're mainly just placeholders in the actual levels, there is lore behind all of them. Which unfortunately was kind of removed from the PS2 version because half of the not half, but like a third of them were actually changed.
Yeah, that's true.
The super yellow lumps were completely removed and the blue yellow lumps? The green lumps? No. The blue lumps were replaced with pockets of air bubbles.
Yeah, so there weren't even blue lums in that game. I remember that.
Because I think, what is it, the lore of this world says that red lums are essentially life force, and, you know, it's kind of, you know, they're elixir of life with wings sort of thing, while blue lums are essentially a creature's lungs in the context of this lore. And it gets really in-depth when you get all the yellow lums and find out about more of this. The knowledge is actually a surprisingly good read, and now my
These controllers, I swear. What you probably need to do is just unplug and plug it back in.
You have no idea. Wait until the next part, it's silly.
You probably just leave it go and it's like pulling all the way to the left.
Annoyingly, the direction I had the most trouble with was forwards.
Well, I'm seeing that, so I'm not surprised.
Everything else is fine. If I'm heading backwards or left or right, it's fine, but not forwards.
See, now you just be wishing this is like the N64 Zeldas, just backwalk everywhere. Don't need to worry about that stick.
You know, if I could, I would strafe through everything. I missed the alarm, but it's red, so it's not as bad.
It's only a minor thing to gripe at later.
Pretty much.
Oh no, it's not like you were at full health or anything.
At least it's not a heart container.
That is true. I had a couple of recordings of this, admittedly, because I was doing it in post recording. That I just had freakouts and going, where is that cage? And we just run around for ages looking for things, and they go, nah, I gotta scrap this.
I've done that before. I was like, oh, where's this one thing? And then you just keep on resetting.
That is probably the most difficult thing about post-commentary is, because of the fact that you can edit it excessively, you want it to be perfect.
You know what's the funny thing? I actually feel kind of the opposite. I feel like it's easier for me to post, because when I'm doing that stuff in live, I get worse.
But that's the thing. When you're doing live and all of the stupid stuff happens, it's real. So you can
No, with
capture
stupid stuff
all
like
of it.
that, yeah, but when you're missing stuff, is more or less when it gets worse.
True.
Or at least that's how I am with my live stuff.
Oh.
Because the way I always try to handle it is by time. So I know I put in the screw-ups in an estimate of time. With something like post, you can edit those out, but with live, it's kind of harder to do that.
You must accept your mistakes.
My next two LPs are a bit like that. It's just fluff up here, fluff up there, fluff ups everywhere, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll keep them in. Why not? Comedic content kind of blah. And this room.
Oh, that's easy. Oh, it comes back.
Yeah, they all come back.
Never stop. Get away.
Reminds me of the Floor Masters.
I'm thinking more like the black bows from Majora's Mask.
Those are equally
Oh,
terrible.
that's a good comparison.
They're pretty much the same thing, it's just, you know, these things have tails.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they're just a ball.
And because I really don't want to deal with the sliding in this area,
Come on, it's not like you're gonna miss
I'm
anything.
hovering before my momentum gets too high that I can't jump.
All you're missing here is red lums. Ah.
I'm just cancelling out my momentum every second.
Someone doesn't like going fast.
Doing it like that is especially helpful if you're playing the PS1 version, because that section is littered with yellow lumps in that version.
Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of a pain.
Gotta
I
go
think I remember a
medium
lot of times I just tried to kill myself if I could.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. Also, you hear a cage in this section. This is the only level in the game you cannot 100% your first go, so we will have to backtrack.
Very true.
And that's really the annoying part, because when you first play this game, you want to get everything, and then you realize there's this one cage with a handful of
I'm trying
lumps
to
you
hit
can't
the
get.
piranha over there.
Also, the piranha. He
We're
does
heading
not
into that
care.
ray of light there, and we will be resuming Let's Play Rayman 2 next time.